Yo, Counter Attack podcast via Zoom. Sorry, guys. Lockdown has meant that we've got to do this via Zoom. And Lam, how are you, man?
I'm good, brother, man. I'm good. I'm looking a little bit woolly at the moment.
Yeah.
Looking a little bit woolly, a little bit rough. Happy Good Friday and all of that jazz. Good weekend.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm good, man. Surviving. What about you? What are you saying?
I'm good, man. I just need football. I need to play football. I need to watch football. Mate, but
The lack of football is it. Do you know what? The first couple of weeks, days, and stuff, you could kind of it was hurting, but now it's like it's proper sinking in, and it's proper like there's no, normally like international break weekend or whatever. You think, yeah, I'm missing it for a week or missing it for 2 weeks. This is gonna be a while. It's prolonged, bro. Like it's starting to get to me. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Hey, listen, mate. Anyway, hopefully it all comes back soon, man. Because, mate, I don't know, man. But until then, we've got people on. Like, we're just gonna bang out these calls, guys, man. We're just gonna bang out these Zoom podcasts every other day. We're probably gonna give them more content than what they were getting from what they were getting before. Yeah. So yeah, man. Today we're gonna start off with Derek Asamoah. I'm going to bring him into the call now. Guys, keep liking, subscribing, sharing, all that good stuff. Thanks for keeping up with us. And, we're still getting good feedback. People love the episode where all of us were there. Spence will be back again. This one was last minute, so I know better than to holler at Spence last minute, to be fair. And Michael, come. So, yeah, let me bring Derek, our guest. Let me see if I can even do this thing. Admit. Is he here? Yo, Derek.
Yo, what's happening?
Nothing, man. What's good?
Nothing much. Just hanging in there, innit? How are you?
Man, I'm good, man. I see your goatee's a bit long right now.
I know. Long, it's out of shape. Everything's wrong with it.
Yeah, man. Are you like coping with all of this?
Do you know what? It's just a time for reflection, innit? Just time to step back and just take a moment and think about everything, innit? I'm just taking it in my stride. I'm not really stressing about it. Yeah. I don't watch the news too much. I'm just carrying on like it's normal, but just in my house environment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How is it just being stuck up in the house?
It's not easy. I could think about a lot worse places to be. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we take the negative and make a positive out of it. You know what I mean? Just keep riding with it. That's all you can do. But it's good. I get to spend time with the family. It's something I wouldn't normally do too often. But it's good. Get to know people on a personal level. It's interesting.
It's funny. A lot of people are remembering that they've actually got wives and kids now, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
But yeah, you've got your what is it you do? Is it like an academy or something? Oh,
hello?
Have we lost him? Okay, yeah. Is it you've got? Oh, have we lost him again? Have we lost you?
No, I'm back. Sorry.
Is someone calling you?
Yeah, no, I just get a notification. I don't even know how to. I should have turned them off before I went on, but it's cool. Hopefully.
Yeah. No, I was just saying that you've got is it an academy or something that you do?
It's my little brother's academy that I help out every now and then when I can. But it's my little brother's. He's trying to obviously he tried to play football and it didn't quite work out. So he's just trying to give back to the youth. You know what I mean? And take that route. So I try to help him out as much as possible with advice and personal appearances and just trying to promote it for him as well. But it's all my brother. It's all his idea, and I'm just trying to help along.
Because I think Lamin would be interested. Lamin, what's the age range for kids that you deal with? What's that?
So with what I do, we deal with kids from sort of, to be honest, it can go from 14, right? Some of the oldest boys that we've got through at the moment are probably now going to be under 20s, under 21s. So so it catches a lot of boys who are in the system. and it kind of helps keep them in the system. And then the boys who obviously naturally drop out of the system, we try to help them back into the system by giving them the platform and the training and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, so no, it's very rewarding work, man. It's rewarding when you look at when you look at some of the stories, you know. I can imagine.
I love things like that. I absolutely love things like that. I wish there was these sort of things when I was growing up. You know what I mean?
Everyone always says the same.
Yeah, I wish, man.
Why didn't we have that? Why didn't they have? You know what I mean? It's mad, but
it is mad.
Man. People benefit from how technology moves, and it's just with technology moving, people's minds expand, things change. But it's great to see people doing stuff and giving back, man. It's a great thing. How long has it been going for?
It's been going for, I think, just over a year. Just over a year now, and he does from, I think now he's even starting from when they're younger. He does like from when they're like 3 years old and stuff. Just introducing them to the football and stuff. Yeah, he started, and he's really taken. It's picked up a lot because it gets them to be free and little run around, and like I said, get them involved with football at a very young age. So when they do get older, it just becomes natural for them. And I would say it's from 3 till about 14, 15.
Wow.
Yeah.
But how old were you when you got into it? When you got into football, you didn't come through like the academies, did you?
No, I went some next way. I didn't I came through football. Obviously, I was born in Ghana, and I grew up in Ghana. Yeah, I grew up in Ghana, and I came over when I was like 6 or 7. I came over to this country, and I was a decent player. I wasn't playing at any level or anything like that. But then obviously when I was a bit older, I had to go back to Ghana again. So I had a very disruptive kind of growing up, because I was moving, going to Ghana, coming back. So I wasn't really settled on anything. So I missed out on like the academy football or the local football. So everything that I know about football is basically just me learning myself, because I wasn't in any kind of structure. Like I said, like your structure you're doing, I wasn't when I was growing up, I didn't have anything like that. So
yeah, you what team was it that you made your first big break? Was it Northampton?
Yeah, I made my first big break with Northampton.
Yeah,
the Cobblers.
How did that go for you? You made quite a few appearances for them, right?
Yeah, that went fairly well. It went really well. Like I said, I wasn't expecting it. I came in from the cold. I came in from like non-league football, and I came in from not having any professional training background. So everything was like I was just trying to take everything in, because I didn't know. I knew enough about football, but I didn't know the ins and out and everything. And had I had the advice and stuff I know now, it could have went better, because there was times where, especially in the first year, I was just happy to be there, and I didn't really use my voice, and I didn't really I was just like, I'm a professional footballer. I've made it, and whatever happens, I'm happy. So I did make a lot of appearances, but I was off the bench. I think it must have been a record at the time. I played every single game, but 90% of it was from the bench, and I wish that I did have a voice. Yeah, I wish that I did have a voice to say, "Yo, start me, play me." Do you know what I mean? But I was just kind of like, because like I said, where I've come from, I was just kind of happy to be there.
So I was about to say that. Was it more of a thing of like, it's not that you didn't want to play, but more that you felt like you couldn't say something because you don't want to lose you felt like you might lose your opportunity, and like you say, you're just happy to be there. To be honest.
Yeah, definitely. I felt like it wasn't my place to say anything, but then again, I wish I did, because it was a big deal to be where I was, from where I was to where, because they were in doing League One back then, League One, and from where I came from, I just didn't want to mess anything up, if you know what I mean. I just wanted to, if they say jump, I'll say how high instead of why should I jump, you know what I mean, kind of thing. So,
okay, what I wanted to touch on was what the heck happened with Nice.
I don't want to. That's well, in terms of how I got there. Or...
Yeah, because like when you look at some of the clubs you were playing for, like it was, I think, was Lincoln one of them? Lincoln, Northampton. Yeah, so all of these clubs, and then out of nowhere, you sign for Nice, but that brought a lot of like controversy, right? Like, obviously you ain't got to talk about this if you don't actually want to talk about it. But what was it that actually happened? Because I know what got put out by the club that you left, which was Shrewsbury?
Shrewsbury.
Yeah, the club that you left. What got put out is that you were being selfish and unprofessional. But we all know that's never, you know, that's never the full story. That's never the full story. But what actually happened there in regards to?
Do you know what? I think Nice were monitoring me for a while now, because when I was playing for Chester City, I went on a mad run where I scored like 8 goals in 4 games or something. I went on a mad run, and Ghana picked me at Ghana. Obviously, word got out, and I got picked by the national team to play a friendly against Nice. So we went over. Went over to France and played against Nice, and I absolutely I ripped it up. I smashed it up. So they were keeping kind of tabs on me anyway. So when I went the following season, I left Chester because it was like towards the end of the season. I went to Shrewsbury, and then after Shrewsbury, they came back. They came in for me after Shrewsbury, and I was basically told that I can't go because another club is offering Shrewsbury more money.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So it was kind of like that, and I was thinking at the end of the day, this is a big opportunity for me. You know what I mean? It's a big opportunity to go to France, and a team in the French Premier League, First Division Premier League, so to speak, playing against PSG and Marseille and all these big clubs. So it was something I couldn't really turn down. Do you know what I mean? So if that's being selfish, then I don't know, because I'm sure if that opportunity came to the coach, hello, yeah. If the opportunity came to the coach or anyone, I think they will consider it, and that's all I did. I don't think it was a selfish move or anything.
Yeah, you know I mean? But for a lot of people, a lot of people who don't know how transfers and that go, you actually do you get a say in where you want to go? Because it just seems like Shrewsbury threw their toys out the pram because you had your heart set.
It actually depends. It's funny. At the end of the day, money talks. Do you know what I mean? Money talks, and it really depends. If Nice was the only club that was interested in me, they would let me go easily. But obviously, other clubs were interested that was willing to pay more money because I had a really good season then. Got them to the playoff and final. We just lost in the final to get promoted. So I had a really good season as well. And what do you call it? So if there was another team, if Nice was the only club, then they would let me go. But you have a say in a way, because at the end of the day, it's your career. But at the same time, they can be bitter and hold you back. Because at one point, I was told that my registration was going to get held and I wasn't going to be able to play football for a year. So if they really, really wanted to mess me up, they could have, and then I would have to say.
Happen in the end? Did it actually happen where you couldn't play for a bit?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I had a 2-year contract with Shrewsbury, and obviously I have to honour my contract, innit? So they literally, I was a property of Shrewsbury until my 2 years was over, so they can decide what to do with me. And I have some sort of say as well, but ultimately, if they wanted, they could have blocked the transfer, and I would know. Obviously, it depends how I took it. I could have taken it negatively. If that did happen, I could have come back and say, do you know what? I'm not going to train properly. I'm not going to play properly. I'm going to sulk. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Or I can take it as, do you know what? Just football's a short career. Just roll your sleeves up and get on with it and try and see what happens this season and just help the team and see what happens at the end of the season.
So then so what, you literally had to wait until the end of like your contract with Shrewsbury was up, basically?
No, I didn't have to wait because Nice came up with another offer, and they ultimately accepted it.
Oh,
so
okay.
I was allowed to go.
How did you find it at Nice? Not very good. Very good.
Do you know what? The lifestyle, everything is brilliant, but on the football front, it wasn't. It was good. You know, football. There's a lot of politics and stuff, and I don't really want to get into it too much. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of, and nothing's ever what it seems. Do you know what I mean? If somebody's not having a good time somewhere, or if somebody, it's never what it seems. There's always factors into their behaviour, or factors into why they're not performing, or there's always that, and that's why people fail to realise. They say a lot of the time, they say players have no loyalty, but a lot of the time clubs don't have no loyalty to players. You know what I mean? We just use whenever it suits them, really. So there was a lot of things that was happening why I didn't have such a good time at Nice, because it was a big thing. I went in there, everyone's excited. I got the number 7 shirt. You know what I mean? So I was the next thing, like I was spoken about a lot, and all of a sudden it just, like, all the hype disappeared, and it was just really unfortunate. But I enjoyed it. It was a good time there.
Is there like support for you, like when you're going through all of this, or literally, you know?
I was just going to ask the same question. I was literally just going to ask. I was literally just going to ask the same question.
Go on.
No. You've asked it. Go on.
Yeah. So is there like any real like support for you, or is it literally like you just have to just crack on?
You know what? Do you know what? I thought. To be fair, I felt really alone. Because I didn't have an active agent then, you know, so to speak. And I thought, yeah, yeah, exactly. I felt really alone, and I was dealing with it on my own in a foreign country, and it has double the effect. Whatever you're going through, it's twice as bad. Do you know what I mean? So maybe if I had the support or someone to put their arms around me and just give me some word of advice, because at the end of the day, the more frustrated I got, the more things I did out of character. Like I would, like, I would go out. Like I wasn't playing, but out of the players, I had one of the best cars there. Do you know what I mean? Because I went out and said, I'm not playing, so I might as well. I'm in Nice, south of France. Enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? And that's the wrong thing to do.
So yeah, with that being said, like, obviously you've gone to Nice, and you said you didn't really have an agent. So in regards to agents, would you say that players don't really need them, or that they do actually need them? And this, Lamin, you can like get involved in this in this little topic itself, because like for a lot of people, agents are seen as the people that you must have. I'm seeing people in non-league with bloody agents, and they don't really need it. Like, so, but obviously you've got to Nice without an agent. Is it something that you would look at and think that, you know what, you can do it without them, but also you might need them, if that makes sense?
To be honest, if I had an agent, it would have helped out a bit. But even before Nice, I had a short career, but I had so much bad experiences with agent. It's just about finding the right one, and finding the one who is out for you, who is there for you, and who, do you know what I mean, who put out for you. It's just, I wouldn't say agents are very important, because they can open doors for you, and they can like negotiate on your behalf and better deals, because most of the time I negotiated my own deals, and it was very awkward. Like, it was hard to go to some sitting in front of a manager or sitting in front of a chairman and saying, nah, I want this amount of money. But if it's coming from an agent, it's kind of, it can be like it's coming from him, it's not coming from me. They can't be like, oh, this guy's money hungry, or this, do you know what I mean? Negotiation can be a lot smoother in a way. And like I said, they can open doors for you. But in my case, I didn't really, because I had a bad experience with my first agent, who I had to pay out a lot of money for to get out of a contract, because I found out that he was like, he's blocked a couple moves for me and things like that. It was bad, all because of greed. But like I said, not every agent's like that, and I wouldn't slate them or anything. It's just about finding the right one, because like for life, there's decent people and there's bad people who are out there for their own good. But if you can really connect with one, then 100% it's better to have one. And I thought if I had a decent one, it would have been better for me. But then again, I was like a freelance. I normally use like if I got a move, or if an agent calls me and says, like, listen, I got this move, this club is interested in you, I'll be like, cool, let's talk, let's work on this transfer, and that's it. After the transfer is done, me and you part ways. I don't need you to call me. I don't you take whatever fees you want from the club, and I get on what I'm doing, and you get what you're.
I always wonder, like, what gets into the mind of some of these agents, where like they allow greed to, because any deal I ever signed, I had someone help me, but it was always a thing of like, they would come to me, say, look, this is what's there, how do you want me to go and act? But a lot of these agents that I hear about, like, they don't even take their clients' interest, like their best interest, you know what I'm saying, to the club.
Yeah.
I always just wonder what goes on in their minds, where it's like, you know what, the player will be happy, let's say, getting, I don't know, X amount of money. But instead of going to the club and saying that, they just want to push just to line their pockets. Like, I just never really got that.
But sometimes, do you know, as a person, as a normal human being, we're always like, how can I put it? I don't know how to frame it. But if someone offers you this amount of money, you think about it and take, for example, if like, say, Manchester United want me, and my agent came to, I said to my agent, I need like 100 bags a week, get me 100 bags a week. Can you get it for me? My agent would be like, yeah, I can do it for you. But then he goes to Manchester United, and Manchester United said, listen, we can only afford, make him accept 50k a week, and then we'll line your pocket and give you like 20k a week. So they tempt the agents. So at the end of the day, my United say, what's 50 plus 20? They, instead of giving you 100 grand a week, you're getting 50 grand a week, and the agents line these pocket up without you knowing anything. That's why I'm saying that the agent has to have your best interest. If they don't have your best interest, then they're going to, like you said, you was there and you was present. Every deal you signed, it came up to you. But I don't know if a team would have said, okay, if you give him less money, we will line your pocket. If he would have taken it or not. But that's just how it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's mad. I can only imagine what it's like for like the younger players, man, coming up, who are just in a hurry to flip in, sign a deal with these agents. But anyway, I never ever really signed. It's mad. I never ever signed an agreement with an agent. It was always like a gentleman's agreement. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah,
trust. But did you use the same agent, or did you use multiple agents?
No. I don't even want to talk bad about this guy, but there was one in the very, very beginning when I was young. He messed up a move for me. But you know, when I must have been about 18, and then the move didn't happen, but I just took on his word. Like, it just didn't happen for whatever reason. When really and truly, I found out years later that he basically tried to get way more money than what. Because when I was them ages, I just wanted to play football.
You just want to play football,
I just want to play football with it. Like, and any money I'm getting, really and truly, more than I'm getting on road, or more than I'm getting working in my local Tesco or whatever, innit? Yeah. And I found out years later that he went to who was it? Was it Gillingham? Yeah, he went to Gillingham years later, and I was just like, yeah. No, I found out years later, sorry, that he went to Gillingham and said, I basically wanted double what they were offering. And then I didn't know, but they were going back and forth. They went back and forth like a couple of weeks. And all throughout that period, I didn't know anything about the back and forth. Because had I known that...
How do you know exactly?
Had I known, I would have been like, no, boom, take that. Yeah. So then I left that. And then other than that, one guy called Tunde, who literally, I don't even know if he works around football every now and then, but he's not really heavily involved in football anymore. But if he found out that, this team is here, that team is there, it wouldn't be a thing of like, he would literally just help me to make a decision and advise me. And if I need any help, he'd just offer the support. Whereas a lot of these agents I see, they try to run everything. As if they're the asset and not the player.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you know what, yeah? Do you know what? It's really interesting, obviously, listening to you guys talk, yeah? And one of the things that I find a lot, yeah, when I speak to players now, and obviously the players that I deal with and look after, whatever, is that a lot of them have had the similar experiences. And I always ask myself, what was like the decision-making process? Like, what made you go or listen to one person over another person? Do you kind of see what I'm saying? And one of the things that I think is really sort of important, especially when you're sort of dealing with certain situations, is that obviously from the player's point of view, you have to get somebody you believe is out for you, like you're saying, because if they're not, like you both have said, it can go wrong very, very quickly. But for me, one of the key things is that it's even if you have, because obviously you do have some aggressive agents, right? Some real aggressive, powerful, money hungry guys, yeah. But they're all out for their player. Do you kind of see what I'm saying? So in some circumstances, don't get me wrong, it's never right to foil or ruin a move for a player because of financial stuff or financial things, unless it's clear that the club are really low-balling the player. So, for example, you talk about Man United example of 100 grand a week, right? 100 grand a week is good money, right? If Man United were coming in potentially and offering you at 26, 5 grand a week, right? You might be like, hold on a minute, I get it's Man United, but hold on, I'm worth more than that. Do you kind of see what I'm saying? Yeah. So there's got to kind of be a bit of a trade-off there. And also the agent generally should be looking at United and saying, okay, do you know what? If you're going to give him 5 grand a week to start with, in the first, give him 5 grand a week for the first 2 months, then his salary goes up 20%, 30%, 40%, or 100% a month for the rest of the contract. Do you kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
there
definitely.
would be things that you would bring into play. But again, it's like what I find with my experience as agents is that there are some good ones and there are some that I just think I would hate to be your client. Do you kind of what I'm saying? Because number one, they don't look at players like they look at players just like a cash machine, right? And number two, there isn't like a longer term sort of thought process behind everything that they kind of do. Do you kind of see what I'm saying? Because say for example, you as my client and you was obviously, Man United offered you 5-10 grand a week when you're a 40,000-50,000 pound player. Yeah. Chances are you'd probably turn around and say, United, you know what? No, you got to give him something that's worth his value, right? Yeah. But what you would do is that if United had said, look, this is all the money in the world that we've got, which is unlikely United, this is all the money in the world that we've got, but what we can do is that we can potentially look to scale it up. You would just work out how that scale works. You kind of see what I'm saying? The kind of over the lifetime of that contract, what is worth to the player. So if you wanted 50 grand a week, you times that by how many years the contract is. If they're offering you 10% of that, you just make sure that the agreement that they've got, that they could put in place to for the money to scale up is equal to what you would have got if you would have been on 50k a week anyway. You kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear everything you're saying makes absolute perfect sense. But that's wonderful. As long as like every step of the way you involve the player and let him know what's going on. Do you know what I mean? So maybe like for me, it depends what stage you are in your career, because they ruin a lot of young people's career when they don't even have a foot into the game. Do you understand?
Absolutely.
So,
and it's interesting what you said as well. It doesn't matter whether you're 18 or whether you're 28. Footballers want to play.
Yeah.
They want to play football. They want to get on with playing. And you're right. Like you know, obviously the example that Daps just gave about his own situation. I mean, when you're young, it's crazy to think that people are just looking at you and thinking, yeah, do you know what? Let me just cash grab now. When in reality, you could have went to United, you could have gone to Nice, and you could have had a really amazing career, and then all of a sudden your market values. It's mad. It is crazy, man.
So
it's mad.
Did you because after Nice you went to Lokomotiv Moscow, innit?
Yeah, I went to Hamilton first. Hamilton Accies in
Hamilton Academical in Scotland, yeah?
Yeah, in Scotland. Yeah, I went there first. And then again, the mistake I like I said, and you do need advice and do need people advising you. But I had, even when I was trying to sort out, like trying to leave Nice, so to speak, because I didn't think it was going to work out. I needed an agent who was more of a friend, do you know what I mean, than an agent. I just said, I need you to help me out to negotiate a good break, like a good good settlement fee or whatever away from Nice. And even he went in and tried to negotiate something for his own pocket. Do you know what I mean? And that's out of order. He should have said to me, like, advice, because it was my fault as well. The timing I was leaving Nice was really bad, because I could not sign because I think it was in September or October, them time. I should have known, but I didn't even clock on. So the time I left, he should have been advising me that, yo, don't leave now, because you will not be able to sign for another club until the next
window,
the next transfer window. You know what I mean? So I ended up leaving and staying at home doing like nothing for 3 months.
Ooh.
Do you know what I mean? And when I feel, if you'd have advised me, yo, stick it out till at least go on loan somewhere, or at least do something. Don't. But all he saw was money, and all he saw was a chance for him to make a quick change, because I was going to get a lump sum, and that would be if we terminate my contract amicably, I was going to get a lump sum, and he was going to eat, basically. So that's all he was thinking about. But like you said, is sometimes it works. Sometimes you just have to have a professional relationship. You know, he doesn't give a beep about you, and you don't give a, just as long as you're. That was my attitude, because I never really had good experience, whether it's like a friend or even a family member that's an agent. When money comes in, everything else goes out. Goes out the windows. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not really a big fan, but they are important. They're a very important part of the game. And
did you like take on an agent for that? I said Lokomotiv Moscow, sorry, Lokomotiv Sofia. Did you like have an agent for that one, or did they just come in for you? And
I had obviously I had agents floating about. I had like 4, 5 or 6 agents. I didn't have any contract with any of them, and every now and then I'll get a call from one to say, yo, this club wants you. I said, no, I'm not doing that, or another. So a team came in and said, agent came in and said, listen, Lokomotiv Sofia are interested. They're playing in the Europa Cup, and they play in the Champions League sometimes, but they're in Bulgaria. Do you want to go? And I was like, do you know what? Yeah, let's do it. So I hired him for that particular deal. I only signed, I forgot what that contract's called. You might be able to help me with this. I only signed a contract to say, yeah, he can speak on my behalf, or he can for this transfer.
Short term, innit?
Yeah, just for this transfer.
Yeah, but it's not the one for like it's literally a short term one just for that deal. After that deal,
after that deal. Yeah, exactly. And even that deal was done. Took me to Lokomotiv Sofia, but I don't even. But anyway, was in Bulgaria. They do things a lot different. You get paid. Sometimes you get paid in the paper bags. Sometimes.
Yeah.
I went over there, signed, obviously they gave me like a transfer fee, and it was a lot more than I can take on the plane.
Yeah.
But you only allow a certain amount. I can't remember. It's about 15,000 or something you can have on you. And obviously, I'm not going to put it in whatever money I had. I'm not going to put it in a baggage in case they go through it. Those guys, the baggage people, they go through. So I'm flying back to England now, just to get my stuff ready and come back. So I want to bring this money over and put it in my bank account here and head back over. So we got on the plane. We got on the plane. I gave him like, I think half of it or half of the money to hold, and I took the other half. So you can go through immigration with that. So there's two of us, so we can both go through immigration. Got to London Heathrow now, and my brother came to pick us up, and I said to him, "Yo, okay, can you give me the money I gave you to hold for me?" And he's like proper patting himself, searching himself. I don't know where it is. I put it in my bag. I just don't know where. So me and my brother actually stripped him. And I didn't know what he's done with the money. I don't know if he hid it in the airport somewhere, went to the toilet, I don't know what happened to this day. I still don't know what happened to that money. It was just mad. It was just mad.
He probably took that money.
100%. He didn't lose that money. 100%. He took that money. Do you know what I mean? 100%. Then that's just another example of like doing it right in front of you, right in front of your eyes, and imagine what goes on behind closed doors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow, man. That's good. What was it like playing in Bulgaria though?
Do you know what? The football was really good. There's really good players, but everyone knows it's well documented what Bulgaria is like. Do you know what I mean? It was not. I mean, I can remember clearly my first game. Then my first game, I was on the bench and we was losing. So, in Bulgaria, like chairman, directors, everyone's allowed in the change room. It's crazy. It's not just the manager that's picking the team, like the chairman, everyone. So one of the directors just said to me, "Get outside and warm up. You're coming on second half." My first game. I said, "Who are you? Who's this guy?" So anyway, I went outside, started doing my warm up. I was warming up in front of the away fans. I ran up to the edge of the pitch, and one guy stood up to say, "Oh, Monkey, what are you doing here? What are you doing here?" And I looked at him and went, "What the fuck?" Oh, sorry for my language. Yeah, I said, "What the hell?" From then, straight away, I knew that it was going to be a long season. Do you know what I mean? And it was just mad. It was mad. It was crazy.
But was that part of the reason why you just like wanted to get out of there, or the main reason?
Yeah, that was part of the reason. I mean, the level was really good, but I needed to like that's what gave me the motivation, because I was like top scorer. I was like, everyone's talking about me in Bulgaria. Like teams back home wanted me. Like teams in Germany, like Holland, everyone wanted me before I transferred to South Korea. So that must have motivated me to want to like just get out.
It's funny because a lot of people think that when they see people getting racially abused, I always hear the same, "Oh, they're getting paid X amount of money, so they should deal with it." Do you get what I'm saying? But can you speak on it's not that easy. Like, yes, you're getting money to play, but at the end of the day, it's probably more of a morally, like moral decision you have to make. You have to take to be like, "Nah, I'm not doing this anymore," and it's bigger than money. Yeah,
100%. No amount of money, do you know what I mean, can pay someone enough to take that amount of abuse. Do you understand? And it's morally wrong. No one should have to go through that. Even if you earn £1 or $1 million a year, you shouldn't have to go through that. And I think whoever say thing like that, you're not right in your head.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not right. You can't expect to be doing your job, whatever job you have in McDonald's or in an office or whatever, and somebody just to come over and just start racially abusing you just because you get paid, and just because like you're serving them or you're playing for them. No, that's wrong. That it's up to me as an individual whether what decisions I need to make. Do you know what I mean? For me, it motivated me because I'm one of these people that like racism. I've always been taught that racism does not really affect me. You know what I mean? Because if I allow it to affect me, then 100% I'm inferior to the races. Because at the end of the day, whoever's racially abusing me, I don't know you from anyone. You could be just whoever. I don't know you. So why should I let you what you're saying bring me down? Why should I let what you're saying? Why should I be made to feel inferior to you? That's mad. That's never gonna happen. So I personally always manage to rise above things like this. But that's not to say it's right and it should continue. It should totally stop, and there's no space for it. There's no room for it. But like I said, me personally, it motivates me and it makes me like it doesn't really, like I said, it doesn't really like it's wrong, but I can rise above it.
Yeah. You know? And how do you view it when it's still happening now? But people are talking about it. Are you like one of those that's like all of those things that they're putting in place, like changing your profile picture or doing ejecting people from the crowd? Like, do you think that actually helps? Like, or what do you think can be done to actually? Stop
it won't help because at the end of the day, football is just part of society. We need to eradicate racism out of society before we can do anything in football. Because you know what I mean? Because you can get people to be quiet and not say something because there's cameras everywhere. And like I said, closet racists, you can get them not to say anything. But when they're in society, when there's no cameras, when if it's a work colleague or if it's someone that they come across, nothing's stopping this person from abusing someone because of their race. So until we eradicate it out of society, football, there will always be racism in football. It's never going to stop because at the end of the day, just because he's not shouting out racist slur, it doesn't mean he's not racist inside. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't mean he doesn't like somebody because of his race. So I think it's a society problem. Once we get rid of it in society, I think football will benefit from it as well. Yeah. But it's good what football is doing because it's bringing awareness. But all these things they're doing is all it is bringing awareness. It's not really changing anything because it's a society problem. You know.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm trying to think where to direct this now. You know what? Let me talk about was it South Korea? You said you went to.
Yeah, South Korea.
Yeah, South Korea. What was that like for you now?
Do you know what it was? Like I said, there was a lot of teams that were after me, and South Korea came with the biggest offer, biggest package, and so
it was about it was. I was trying to ask in a way where it doesn't make it seem so obvious, but was it literally like a money deal?
It was, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say it wasn't part of it, but when I weighed up all the interests, all the clubs, like for example, if a solid Premier League club came in for me at that time and they were offering less, I would settle because it would be better for me to play in the Premier League. But if it's a Championship club, or if it's a First Division club in Holland, or if it's a Premier League club in France, and they're offering a lot, I would probably, and it's not the biggest club in the world, I'll probably go to South Korea because at the end of the day, the club I was going to, in the whole of Asia, they're the number one ranked football team in Asia. They're like the Real Madrid they won the Champions League the most times in all of Asia. They rated number one in Asia. So it wasn't
it's not a small club.
It's not a small club. It's one of the biggest club in all of China, Japan, everything. Paul and Steelers was their number one club. So it was a very decent team that I was going to as well. And I've seen them play. I've seen their stadium. I've seen but I was a bit nervous going there because I've heard a lot of negative about Korea, and I didn't even know that there was a North and South. What I hear is Korea, South Korea, North Korea. It's the same thing to me. So I was a bit nervous about how life was going to be out there. But at the same time, I went out there and it was amazing. It was unreal. It was the best experience ever. You know, it was. Yeah, it was amazing. Football there, amazing. Everything is just like so professional. You know what I mean? Everything is done to perfection out there. It's amazing. Trust me.
What made you come back then?
What made me? I spent 3 years out there. You know what I mean? And obviously I had a young family as well. You understand? And it wasn't like Bulgaria or France where it's like half an hour flight but if I was like a single man and whatever, I would stay out there for 10 years. It would not be a problem. But I felt 3 years was enough. Sometimes you just have to make an unselfish decision to come back, and that's all it was, because I had the opportunity to play there longer, but I chose to come back.
On like more current things, like you've been hearing about the Premier League saying that they want to cut like the wages of players by 30%. Like, what's your take on that? Because we haven't actually, as a podcast, spoken about that, have we? I don't think so.
No, not properly, no.
Yeah, so like basically my stance on that was that I think players should do like more, but I don't think it should be a government imposed thing. I think it should be that they choose, to do it from their own pockets and their own, rather than the government come and say you have to do this. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, but as a player or former player, what would be your thinking if they said, no, you have to do this?
Like everyone's situation is different. Do you know what I mean? No one knows what people are doing in it. You know, even though they might earn a lot of money, but football is a short career, and you need to be like saving money for rent. You hear it all the time. Sports stars going broke and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Because their lifestyle after retirement, they maintain their lifestyle still. They maintain. So we just had a picture.
No, that's fine. Do your thing.
Yeah. What was I? Like there's a lot of there's a short career, and there's a lot of players when they retire, because the lifestyle they leave, the house, the mortgage they pay. It's not the same mortgage like your regular people pay. Do you know what I mean? So it should be a thing where you give quietly. You shouldn't have to make it. If you want to give, you give quietly. You shouldn't have to make it public, and you shouldn't have to put pressure on other players to do it, because everyone's situation is different. You know what I mean? Some of them might have just one kid, some of them might have 10 kids, some of them might have 3. Do you know what I mean? Might have houses, a whole family back in their country that they need to look after. Some of them give generously to a lot of charities as well. Some of them have their own charity, foundation. So I feel that it should be, if you're in a position to do it, it should be your own personal decision. And if you don't do it, I have no problem, because it's not just footballers out there. There's film stars, there's TV, there's loads of people out there.
I think that's another thing that really
definitely the point.
Say again?
So that's definitely the point. There's wider society.
Yeah.
I think there's a reason, and I had this conversation just I think over the week. There's a reason why they come to football, and there's a responsibility that football does have, especially with the way it's a community sport, and with obviously the way that some clubs are kind of playing that they're going to be paying people less during this time, when in reality some of these clubs are multi-billion-pound football clubs, and as a business you'd expect that scrutiny. But I think the problem that you've got is that you've got a sport that a lot of people contribute to, and you've got you've got what some stadiums are holding 50, 60,000 people. Even at the lower level, we've still got 10, 15,000 people turning up every week. And there is that sort of responsibility, but there's also that sort of belonging to the community. And I think that's why it's easy for the government and people to kind of look at football straight away. And obviously it's well emphasized about how rich the game is. But I completely agree with you. I think just making a rule where everybody has to stick to a particular figure. Now, I'm not being funny. You've still got people who are, first year, second year pros who are not on 20, 30, 40, 50,000 pounds a week. They're on £400, £500, £1,000. Do you understand what I'm saying? And when you compare it to the normal average working person, they're not too different in terms of their like the economics, in terms of what they actually earn. And I think the way I actually think personally, the PFA have let the players down. I think the PFA have let the players down. I think they let them down massively, because it shouldn't take Wayne Rooney or the players to come together to do their own thing, for the PFA to use a bit of common sense. You know, they just seem to have just buckled, innit?
100%. I totally agree with what you say. The percentage thing is the key right now. It's a percentage, because 10% to Wayne Rooney is not the same as 10% to a championship player or a first division player. So if, like you said, the PFA came together and said everyone is going to donate 10% or 50% of their wages, then that's fair enough. But when you're hearing that somebody's donated 50 grand or 100 grand or a week's wages or whatever,
more than a lot of these players getting a year. That's more than a year.
Exactly. It puts a lot of pressure on other people. And if it's just percentage, then it should be everyone that's in employment, because not just footballers, but everyone. Because like I said, if you're earning £1,000 and 10% of that is not that huge. And if it's a society, we all have to pull in together, and we all have to.
Everyone, and this is
everyone has to contribute.
Like, you got some players who 30% ain't going to impact them, right? But you got other players that 30%, they might end up having to try to get government help with universal credit, because they're living with the same conditions. Do you kind of see what I'm saying? So this is where, for me, what they should have done is that they should have said players earning over a particular amount of money a year. Those are the ones that effectively, if you're gonna have to, those are the ones that do. And the ones that want to,
these guys, they pay 50% tax or whatever already.
Exactly. So, but the thing is, with that, my issue is like, when it got announced, he was doing I think it's something Hancock, whatever his name is. He was doing the daily update, the government update. Do you get what I'm saying? On coronavirus and everything. Like, Rooney said it himself, like, why is that even on the agenda? You know what I'm saying, why is that even on the agenda? Like, footballers are seen as such, like, as, the model people, like, and who everyone looks to, when really and truly, like, they should be doing it, but it shouldn't be a thing that is imposed, number one. Two, like, not only have the PFA like let them down. In fact, I don't even know, because I think the PFA were the ones saying, don't just accept it, like, help come up with your own thing. But also the clubs need to do.
Clubs have let them down massively.
The clubs need, even the fact you got people like Spurs and Liverpool initially, like, putting their staff on furlough, and like, it's like you have to look at those things first before you say you have to give whatever.
Definitely.
Not everyone in the, like, Rooney, or not like Rooney, Pogba is getting however much money a week. Ozil, 350. Matty Longstaff, who plays for Newcastle, probably ain't getting 350 a week. In fact, he ain't getting 50 a week. Do you get what I'm saying? And a lot of these people, are the breadwinners for their family. They've got their mortgages. And when you're at the top level, you can go a while. Tevez said it himself. You can go 6-7 months without getting any. You can go a year without getting football money. You're at the top. But when you're at the bottom, you still have responsibilities. You still have bills. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I just think it was poor from them, and I'm glad that the players have come together and come up with something, because I think that they should do that. But I just wasn't here for all of the, and people and people saying, yeah, you know, they need to. They don't need to do anything.
They don't
need
need
to do nothing.
They should. And if they could, it's the same way that if me and you, we could, we should. You get what I'm saying? But I don't think that people should be coming after their money just because they're on X amount.
They're on set amounts a week. That's really poor, to be honest. And I'm glad that Rooney came out to, because a lot of players are thinking it, but nobody wants to.
They won't say it.
Yeah, come out and say it. And I'm glad that Rooney did come out. Do you know what I mean? And
I wonder if Rooney would have said that 10 years ago.
Well, this is it. It's that stage in his career where his voice mattered, but also he's got less to lose, isn't it? So, but you need players like that talking up to the players that can't speak.
Yeah.
Because of his profile.
100%.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
I'm not here for all of that. But yeah, man. Is there anything else on the agenda? What are you keeping up with now, man?
Now, that's what I always say to people. You have to, when you're playing, if any youngsters are watching, you have to invest in your future, so to speak.
Definitely.
I had this thing where, because I bounced about a lot in England, didn't I? I went from club. I had this thing where I just buy a property wherever I go, and when I leave, I just rent it out. Do you know what I mean? So if I go to Northampton, I bought a house when I was just 20 in Northampton. I was on peanuts. I was like £200 a week or something. But obviously, I was getting money for accommodation. I think I was getting like 400 or 500 for accommodation. And I said to myself, like, basically, instead of using that money to rent out, why don't you get a house with it and use it for mortgage? Just add a bit to it. So I've done that, and every club I moved to, I always bought a house. And so at the moment, I'm managing the houses I have, like doing. Thank you.
I love
That's big.
And you know what I mean. And I wish I could like. That's one thing. Every time I do a lot of speeches in schools and stuff, I get invited into schools, and every time I just say to people, always like invest in your future. Do you know what I mean? No matter how little or how, like I said, I done it on less than the minimum. I don't know if it's the minimum wage, but I was getting peanuts when I first started at Northampton, but I still managed to get a house out of it. So just invest in your future. I'm also doing my clothing line.
Big up. That's actually my favorite. I got one of your tracksuits, obviously, and I wore it at our last live show. Shout out. And it's actually, I'm not trying to be funny because you're here. Like, it's clean. My favorite tracksuit that I own right now.
Wicked.
Clean. And normally when these people, bro, he's got the slides, got the tracksuit, and normally when people have tracksuits, wear it, but not really. But you want to support. Like, I legit like the tracksuit, and it's proper good quality.
Bless for that.
Yeah, man. It's proper. And for those of you that don't know which one it is, when you look at photos from our last live show, it's the one when I'm in a blue tracksuit. And I need another one, by the way, Derek. So
no worries. I got the hat on as well.
I'm saying this on the podcast. I need that care package.
Blackmail, yeah.
I need that care package, bro. So
yeah. I've got one question, real quick.
Yeah.
One question, yeah. So you bought a house everywhere you've gone, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I went to Nice last year. I love it.
I don't do that. apart from I can't be traveling up to Nice and checking my house. No. Do you know what? Funny enough, I wish I did. Maybe I just wasn't settled enough there, So I didn't feel, you know what I mean. So apart from in England, wherever I went to,
if you would have had a house in Nice, I'd be saying to you now, next holiday, I'll rent that. No problem.
Yeah, do you know? I definitely wish I did do that. That would have been that would have been amazing.
Yeah, man. But Derek, it's been a long time coming. You were initially meant to be on it time ago, but I think it was me that time. I think it was me.
Yeah. Apologies accepted.
Yeah. It was me, and then finally we've got you here. You came to a live show. How did you find that last live show?
Yeah, it was brilliant. I loved it. I mean, interacting, because you get different angles, you get different people asking different question, curious people. Do you know what I mean? But it was really, I really loved it. I was itching to be up there, but because I could see the vibe was good, the energy was good, and yeah, I look forward to the next one.
No way, man. We got you. We got you.
Keep it up, and I want to do one on the live one with the audience.
Yeah, man. No, 100%. We got you. We definitely got you there. But yeah, man, it's been good, Derek. Thank you for your time.
No worries.
Yeah, man. Big up. I'm gonna put up all your socials. You know, shout out Fresh Ballers. Was it Fresh Baller Apparel or Fresh Ballers?
Yeah, Fresh Ballers Apparel.
Yeah, and you know, hopefully, you know, we can sort something out. Next live show, we were actually gonna do one recently, but obviously all of this.
Yeah.
Hopefully, have you got a newborn as well?
Yeah. It's got
congrats on that as well, man.
Thank you.
Is it boy?
I only produce boys. I only produce ballers. You know what I mean?
Now, congratulations on that, man.
Thank you.
Just stay safe, and you know.
You too, man. Stay safe. Stay safe.
I'm still at Haringey next year, so hopefully I might see you down there when you.
Yeah, my little boy, he was pushing to play in the first team the other week. You know, my little boy, Malise, he plays for the under-23s. He's banging it up for the under-23s.
Yeah, it's
so
it's a bit. What position does he play?
He was playing left wing.
Oh, that's why. That's why. But the thing about Haringey are really good at promoting the.
Yeah. That's what I want for him, because he's still young. He's still.
They're good. Make sure he stays there next year. And I'll make sure that he at least does like a, you know, free, whatever that is.
That'll be good.
Because obviously, man's at that age where I've got clout in that.
Yeah. You pull the strings a bit, yeah.
Just pulling hamstrings, mate. That's all I'm. That's all I'm pulling. Just hamstrings. But yeah, cool. But Derek, love.
I appreciate the invite. Really enjoyed it. Thank you, man.
Yeah, no worry, man. No worry. And guys, keep liking, subscribing, sharing. We will be throughout this time. We took a bit of a back seat because we thought it was gonna be over within a week.
Blow over.
Yeah, but it looks like it's here for however long. So we're just gonna keep putting out these conversations, these podcasts. Hope you like them. You know, yeah, we'll see. You might still see Derek back here with a bunch of man just on one Zoom call, just busting joke and whatever. But yeah, keep liking, subscribing, sharing, all of that, and we'll see you lot later.
All right,
thank you.
Later, guys.
See you guys.
Lamin, stay there. Don't go. Don't go. How do I stop this thing? How do I stop this? I don't even know. But yeah, Lam.
Yo,
stop this thing.